daily drive-by. I gotta say, this new case that Lo got me, or phone stand for the new car that I talked about last week or the week before, shit is nice. I like it. Wanted to jump in. So as you guys know, if you watch the podcast, if you don't watch the podcast, I was just in Colorado for the Do Hard Things Conference. Volume 3, aka the third year in a row that they did it. And it really opened my eyes, really made me realize just what's important in life. With everything going on in life, you know, we get caught up, and I used this analogy the other day of most people live life like they're in a mixing pot, going round and round and round and round, and then, you know, they fly out and they stick at this spot, and then they jump back in and go round and round, and they're on to the next thing, and then round and round on to the next thing. But what happens if we were more strategic? Instead of being thrown around in a mixing pot and we just jump out when we got the next thing, or our mind wanders to the next thing, what happens if we were at one of those little roundabouts instead of a street light? You could go off this way, you could go off this way, you could go off this way behind you. What if we lived more like that? We're strategic. That those roads signified something. That you built something on those roads, so you know every single time you're going back down that road. So I was like, all right, I like this analogy, I like where it's going, but let me dive a little bit deeper. Let me look into it a little bit more. So I think of it now as those are the pillars of my life. Instead of being swarmed around in a mixing pot and kind of just going with the motions of life, I'm establishing what's important to me, my pillars. How do I keep myself organized? How do I keep myself in line? And so I have a foundation of what my 3 main pillars are. Wrote a newsletter about it this week that came out today. If you're not signed up for the newsletter, sign up for the damn newsletter. Check our link in our Instagram. But it was the 3 F's are faith, family, and fitness. And I talk about in that newsletter how you don't have to be a master at all of them. You don't have to think you have it together. You don't have to be perceived as a certain way if it's not true. Those pillars are something that you're growing on. There's something that you're establishing, and there's something that are creating you for you. When people think about you, they think about those pillars. Now think about that. If somebody were to think about you, what would they say? Like, what would spew off their tongue first? Now, for me, I truly believe that if somebody was like, give me something that you think about Freddie, somebody that truly knows me, they'd be like, desire to inspire. What's that? Mental and physical health. Always positive. I believe that. If I ask my best friends, my closest family, I think they would say that. So that makes me happy, because the 3 F's are all encompassed in DTI. So that way the outside world can come into it. They can get ingrained in it. And so ask yourself, if somebody looked at you, what would they say? Would they say, oh, he goes out and parties all the time? Oh, she's always complaining? Oh, they're always stressed out? Oh, they're all over the place. What would they say? So as I talk about this, start to think what those pillars are in your life and what people might perceive you to be. And I'm not saying by any means that you have to turn yourself into something you're not, that you have to portray yourself as something you're not. No. What I'm talking about is honing into your inner self, deep down who you are and what you're working towards, what you want to achieve, what you want to accomplish. So let's start at number 1, faith. This is something that I'm going to say struggled with, and not because I don't have faith, not because I don't believe. I believe in God. I have faith. I believe that God has done everything in my life for me for a reason, even if it's stuff that I once questioned. But I never talk about faith. It scares me because that's not a pillar that I think many people would say when they think about me. Oh, he preaches about God, or oh, he talks about God, or oh, he, goes to church all the time. So as I sit here and I think about this, at the conference, it was held at a church, Peak City Church. Amazing, amazing time. And so again, what did I take away from there? I took away from that, you know, I have this great faith, I have this great belief, but I don't ever talk about it. I don't ever invest my time into it to get closer to God. And I definitely don't outwardly tell people things around my faith. I keep it in because I'm like, well, that's one thing that people will judge, or it turns people off, so I'm not going to talk about it. Well, I'm here to say screw that. I'm talking about it from now on. And so what I want to let you guys know is that even though I consider faith as one of my pillars, one of my foundational things that I'm living by, one of those roads that I want to start building on, my faith is something that I want to grow, something that I want to start working on. It's something that I want to establish in my life and in those around me. Because I do think that this world positions it in a bad way, that you have to be this person, that you have to talk this way, that you have to act this way, that you have to look a certain way, that if you've done something in your past, then there's no point in having faith anymore. It's not the case at all. So it's like anything in life. Work at it to get better at it, but also put more time into it so that way it can grow, that way it can develop. And so I started watching PD's sermons on Sundays after I left the conference to invest a little bit more time into it, to see what resonates with me, how to grow it, etc. So faith, that's what I'll touch on right now with faith, is that it's one that I know I need to build, which is good. Now I can work towards something. Now I know a direction of what I want to do. Now how do I implement in that? And that's what I'll figure out. Second, family. I bet you everybody in my life would say that I am a family person, family first. Friends and family are tied into that because my friends are my family. At least the ones know who they is. You know what I'm saying? Those friends know that they family. So my family's everything. Family brought you into this world. Family raised you. And guess what? Your family can make it seem like you ain't got no family. You do. How are you going to tackle those hard times? All families go through it. Whether it's an argument, a disagreement, whether you're different than they are, whether they're on your ass about this or that. It doesn't matter. You are going to go through ups and downs with family, but it's up to you to determine how you're going to get through it, how you're going to move forward, and what you are going to do to establish and grow those relationships. You came into this world because of family, and you bet your ass you better leave this world with your family. And what I mean by that is by your side. All this materialistic stuff that this world portrays as what we need in life, and we got to make this or else we're not successful, and we got to perceive ourselves this way or we're not blah. No. None of that matters when it's all said and done. None of that matters when you are taking your last breath. Who is going to be around you when that time comes? For instance, my grandfather that just passed away a couple years ago. It was moving, it was powerful, but it was extremely hard. As my grandfather took his last breath, I was standing right by his side. But not only was I standing right by his side, so were all of his kids. So were all of his grandkids that were in town. And not only that, but everybody had a different type of status. Bigger house than the person next to him, nicer car than the person next to him. A purse that was more expensive, more food in their pantries, whatever it is. Whatever it is. But you know what didn't show that day? Any of that stuff. It didn't matter what car anybody pulled up in. It didn't matter what house anybody stayed in. It didn't matter the jewelry that was on. It didn't matter the purse that was brought. It didn't matter the clothes that we were wearing. None of that mattered. We were all there together as one, supporting and loving and being there for somebody that cared for our family, that established these traits and characteristics in all of us to be there for him when he needed it most. And none of that materialistic stuff mattered at all. Not to me, not to my aunts and uncles, not to my cousins, not to my grandfather, not to my granny. We were all even. And that's how it needs to be. Because I will tell you that those people in that room, we also went through shit. But we got through it. because of the values that we instilled in family and how important that is. And so I challenge you, if you do not talk to one of your family members right now, if you are in an argument with one of your family members right now, if you are not going to family holidays because of something that happened or because of something that somebody did, figure a way to forgive. Have that faith. Tie it together. That it will get better as long as you work on it. Be bold in the actions that you do. Be bold in the lifestyle that you live. And if it's truly important to you and it's something you think about a lot, go and tackle it before it's too late. Because I promise when those people are gone, you will wish that you said sorry. You will wish that you pushed these things to the side. You will wish that you forgave and forgot. So don't wait till it's too long. Do it now. Do it before it's too late. And then the last one to wrap this up, so that way it's not too long, is fitness. You know it. My mom knows it. My sister knows it. My friends know it. People I met in Colorado know it. Some of you watching know it. People I don't know it. That follow me. Fitness is the key to life. It is one of the biggest life hacks that we can do. But it's also one of the hardest things to do. Because if you're not together here, you ain't going to be together here. And if these things ain't talking to each other, then you're definitely neglecting this. Fitness should be everybody's pillar. It makes you feel better. It makes you less depressed. It makes you less anxious. It shows people that you care about yourself, that you are going to show up for yourself day in and day out, because they can tell by the way you look. They can tell by the way you act. Working out releases endorphins into your body, into your mind, into your everything that just fuel you, that make you feel better. It may be hard to go and fucking work out. You may be sore afterwards, but that is okay because you need that feeling in life. Living a sedentary lifestyle is digging a grave for you while you are living. You may think that you're living this great life, but I will tell you one thing. If you do not put in time and attention to take care of yourself, you are doing yourself the biggest disservice. You are doing your family a disservice. You are doing your kids a disservice. You're doing your nieces and nephews a disservice. If you say that family is one of the most important things to you, but you're not going to the gym, or you're not going out for walks, or you're not going on a bike ride, fitness doesn't have to be one thing. Fitness doesn't have to be going to the gym and pumping fucking iron. Fitness is getting your heart rate elevated some and working out in whatever capacity that looks like. Now, this is where people go wrong in this world, is they don't do fitness because fitness is painted that you have to go into a gym to do that. You do not. Figure a way to create a lifestyle with habits, daily habits, that allow you the time and energy, even if it is 15 minutes a day, to put work in to make yourself better. Not only will you perform better at work, not only will you not crash midday, not only can you eat more food and not gain weight because your metabolism's faster, not only will you be able to play with your kids or your grandkids, but you will be able to give more, you will be able to be more, and you will be able to reach your true heights, your true limits, and surpass everything that you ever thought you could. People are going to say, wow, that's pretty freaking dramatic, dude. Fitness is just going to solve all this stuff. It ain't going to solve it, but it is going to be a pillar that will put you up here versus here in every other attribute and aspect of your life. So I challenge you, on top of the two that I already talked about, faith and family, to start giving yourself the attention that you deserve. If you are single and you do not work out, why should anybody put time and energy into you when you don't put time and energy into you? If you are in a relationship and you fight with your husband or wife and you do not work out, why should they put their time and energy into you when you don't even put it into you? If you are struggling at work to stay awake, to hit your sales numbers, to complete documents on time, and your boss is on you that you're going to lose your job, why should they give in to you if you're not giving in to yourself? You see what I'm saying? Take care of our temple, the one thing that we're given in this world. The one thing we are given that we come into this world in and out of this world in is our bodies. And you guys are telling me that you can't take 15 minutes a day to do something for that. That's selfish. Stop being selfish. If you bitch and complain, don't fucking bitch and complain until you start taking care of yourself. If you want to judge others, don't start judging others until you take care of yourself. If you think you're not fit for something, if you think you're not, don't bitch about it until you take care of yourself. It all starts with us, people. Starts and ends with us. Go out there and be something more. Don't just be complacent. Don't just conform to the environment you're in. Be different. Do different. When you do different things, when you be different things, then those around you get influenced. I've said it a million times, and I know you've probably heard it before because I didn't create it. But if you hang around 4 people that smoke, you'll be the 5th. If you hang around 4 overweight people, you will be the 5th. If you hang out with 4 depressed people, you will be the 5th. If you hang out with 4 religious people, you will be the 5th. If you hang out with 4 fit people, you will be the 5th. Do you see what I'm saying? It all fucking comes in line, but we just want to bitch and bitch and bitch. Get pillars for yourself, create pillars for yourself, and live and breathe and die by them. Don't make exceptions anymore. It's your life. Be happy you woke up. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. And you want to sit here and bitch and complain about Susie and Jane, who are your next door neighbors, because they're bitches last night when we drank and got fucked up. Fuck Susie and Jane, dude. Go out there and live your dream life. If you can't fucking stand Susie and Jane, then get the fuck away from them. Because you'll be the 3rd person that somebody else can't fucking stand. Because all you do is complain now. You see what I'm saying? You hang around 4 bums, you'll be the 5th. Jeez, oh man. We all make it so overcomplicated, and it really ain't. This world makes us want to make it overcomplicated because we got so much shit being thrown at us. Look at it in the lens of roads, straight roads, or fucking cinder blocks, whatever the fuck you want to look at it as, and then plant your shit on each one of those and then build and grow off of it. All right, that's all I got for y'all. This was a longer one than I expected. Hope you have the desire to inspire and live your best life. Stop making the excuses for those around you to make yourself sound better. And we'll talk soon. That's all I got for you. Bye-bye.